Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also fitting that we pay tribute to the government and people of Grenada for being steadfast and supportive of the regional regulatory system. Very often today, countries tend to be very parochial about regional initiatives. But Grenada has remained committed and loyal to the ECTEL system and to the regional regulatory system. And we have received a signal with the opening remarks from the chairman that going forward in the next 10 years, that they will be part of the regional regulatory system. Thank you very much and congratulations.
We now invite the Minister for Works, Physical Development and Public Utilities, Honorable Joseph Gilbert, to make some remarks.
I am very honored as Minister with responsibility for telecommunications to address this distinguished audience as the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, the NTRC, pays tribute to persons who have contributed to its development over the years. It was on 4th May 2000 that the Prime Ministers of 5 OECS countries, namely Grenada, Dominica, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, and St. Kitts, affixed their signatures to the treaty which laid the basis for the establishment of the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority, ECTEL, and the NTRCs in each member state. This signing was the culmination of 3 years of intense negotiations with the then sole telecommunications provider, Cable & Wireless, to liberalize the industry. The liberalization that we have enjoyed over the last 10 years have borne much fruit. And we now have a more developed and dynamic industry. An industry where there is open and fair competition, an industry that has resulted not only in reduced rates, but more reliable telecommunication services to our people. In fact, so transformed is the industry that some has hailed the process as a telecommunications revolution. On May 4th last year, ladies and gentlemen, in this very room, ECTEL, which is a parent body of the NTRC, celebrated the 10th anniversary of the signing of the treaty which gave effect to the liberalization of the telecommunications industry in the 5 member states. During that ceremony, ministers of telecommunications of the 5 states recommitted the country's support to ECTEL. I recall that event. I, as chairman of the Council of Ministers of ECTEL, applauded our leaders then for their bravery in taking the bold step of bringing to the negotiating table the mighty Cable & Wireless, in what all who were involved knew would have been a difficult task. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to note that in all the member states, we enjoy very good working relations with Cable & Wireless in this new liberalized environment which we have created together. I am sure that as a company, Cable & Wireless grew as a result of the liberalization, as they adapted to new business practices in the face of open competition from new entrants. Of course, with new entrants in the market, consumers now have choices. And each company has to ensure that it provides quality and competitively priced service in order to attain and maintain a fair share in the telecommunications market. These successes and achievements could not have been made possible without the establishment of ECTEL and the NTRCs to guide and regulate the industry. ECTEL has been hailed by many persons in the telecommunications industry as the best organized regulatory body in the world, and it remains the only multi-state regulatory body in the telecommunications sector. Tonight's activity, ladies and gentlemen, is a continuation of the 10th anniversary celebrations of ECTEL. Tonight we join with the NTRC to recognize those who contributed on the local level to the advancement of the NTRC. After the Telecommunications Act was passed in Parliament in 2000, the first NTRCs were established. Thereafter, in early 2001, the Secretariat of the NTRC was put in place, and the work of the NTRC in Grenada begun. So in fact, this year is indeed the 10th anniversary of the NTRC Grenada, and they deserve a lusty round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to regulate any industry effectively, the regulators need to learn and understand the industry. With an industry as important as telecommunications, this is even more important. It is therefore prudent to ensure consistency with regard to persons serving on these commissions. In all the countries, we have seen this consistency. And because of this, we have today commissioners on the local NTRC who have been members of the commission from its inception in 2001. These persons have given human service to the organization and the telecommunications industry as a whole. Tonight, these commissioners will be recognized along with others who have played significant roles in the development of the NTRC in Grenada. They deserve our highest commendation. Allow me, therefore, on behalf of the Prime Minister and my cabinet colleagues, to congratulate and publicly thank all who have served as commissioners. Their task was not easy. They were required in the formative years to find their way through uncharted waters, but they served well and laid the foundation for what we proudly have today. Let me also congratulate all the other persons who will be recognized tonight. I say congratulations for a job well done. I urge you to continue to serve with the same level of commitment and integrity that you have shown in the past. As we look back on the achievements of the past 10 years, we cannot become complacent. We must continue our work to ensure further benefits to our people. We must, to quote from the mission statement of ECTEL and of the NTRCs, continue to promote competition among service providers for the delivery of efficient and affordable services to the people of ECTEL member states by implementing applicable laws, treaties, and agreements through fair, transparent, and independent processes. We are living in times when technology is the way of life. More and more services are being offered online, and our people must keep apace. The rate of internet penetration in Grenada is still relatively low, just about 13%. We must address this, or else our people will be at a disadvantage. I therefore call on the service providers to work with government to ensure greater internet penetration in our country. we have a responsibility to make the service more accessible by putting in place the necessary infrastructure, as well as making the cost of the service more affordable. In this regard, the Universal Service Fund, which was launched by the NTRC on the 29th of September last year, hopefully will assist in providing internet services to the unserved and the underserved areas, thus leading to higher internet penetration in our country. That fund now stands at approximately $2 million and will be made available for projects this year, 2011. In closing, let me once again congratulate those who will be awarded to tonight and to say to the NTRC that we should not let another decade pass before we recognize other persons. But perhaps this award ceremony can be on a yearly basis. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I thank you.
At this point, we invite Commissioner Ferguson to come forward to preside over the award ceremony.
It is my pleasure, indeed, to be part of this historic event, and in particular, to read the citations for those special honorees here tonight. And may I invite Your Excellency, Sir Carl Green, Governor General, to come forward. And first, Ms. Avril Trotman Joseph. Mrs. Avril Trotman Joseph served for 2 terms on the NTRC from 2004 to 2008 and made an indelible contribution in her capacity as legal advisor to the Commission. The NTRC is extremely appreciative of the services offered by Mrs. Avril Trotman Joseph and presents her with this Outstanding Service Award. Mrs. Trotman Joseph. Next, we have Mr. Joseph Charter. I see we have a representative of Mr. Charter in flaming red tonight. Mr. Joseph Charter was among the first group of commissioners to be appointed to the NTRC in 2000 and served on the first and second commissions. As the then Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Works and Communications, Mr. Charter played a critical role in the formative years of the NTRC and its undeniable success. The NTRC recognizes Mr. Joseph Charter for his contribution to the establishment and achievement of the Secretariat of the NTRC and takes great delight in presenting him with this Outstanding Service Award. Receiving for Mr. Charter is Ms. Hazelan Regis, I see. I don't know why. Louis, it should be. Hazelan is our very efficient administrative officer at the NTRC, I must say.